Welcome back to the Expert Walkthrough for Dark Souls 2, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Let's Play Dark Souls HD. We left off here in the Cardinal Tower. We lit this bonfire in the last video, and we also found a brand new merchant. So we're going to get some awesome stuff done today. We're going to go talk to her, get some important items from her, exhaust her dialogue, and then we are going to venture out in that direction to go get a really cool new weapon that we're going to be using for a while. And then we will head down that way into the rest of the Forest of Fallen Giants, where it actually starts to get a little bit tough. So let's talk to her first.
Buy something, anything.
Okay, this is the merchant hag Melentia. Now, when you look at her inventory, you're going to notice that there's nothing particularly special. She sells a broken straight sword, a hand axe, a club, and a fist weapon. She sells the Explorer's starting equipment. This is the starting armor of the Explorer class. But the only particularly special thing about this armor is the hat, because it raises item discovery. It's really good to have that, but it just doesn't look very cool. Her consumables, she sells human effigies, which is really important, because throughout the course of your playthrough, you're going to find yourself at a shortage of these, depending on how much you die. She sells life gems in a limited quantity right now, but soon enough she will sell an infinite quantity of these. She sells amber herbs in a limited quantity, mind you. Notice how there's like a 3 right there, a 10 above that, and then a 5 for the human effigies. That little small number above the price, I guess I should explain that. The bottom number is the price, and then the top number right there is how many she has. Notice how there's no top number here. It means that she sells infinite of these 3 items. She sells 1 Pharaoh's Lockstone for 4,000 souls, which I already bought, and then she sells Leningras's Key, which I bought for 1,000 souls. Now these, the only reason they're already purchased is because when I started my video earlier, I had a message pop up, and I really don't want to show that in the playthrough, so I had to go minimize my window, and I had to turn off the visual and audio notifications of like Steam messages so that they won't interrupt my playthrough, and yeah, just to get rid of that stuff. And she also sells Soul Arrow and Heal. She sells 1 copy of these, and these are just basic starting spells for the Sorcerer and the Cleric. So the important things here is you want to buy Leningras's Key, because just like the description says, it opens Blacksmith Leningras's shop in Majula. He's the blacksmith that was sitting next to his house with the locked door, so you buy this key, you can get into his house, and you will unlock him and all of his services for the rest of the game. The Pharaoh's Lockstone, it is important that you buy this because the Pharaoh's Lockstone is an item that is used to open contraptions that lock certain special items from you in the game. One of those first contraptions you'll find actually hides a really awesome ring and a Titanite slab, I believe, so you definitely want that. She sells infinite of these, so you can come back and buy throwing knives, witching urns, or firebombs as much as you want. I don't really need to buy these because firebombs drop somewhat frequently from enemies. We just picked up 5 of these, and we've got 8 throwing knives as well. Then notice how down there, next to the description, it says held. You can see exactly how many of that particular item you have in your inventory. So you can always look at that before you have to go and spend souls on something. I have 3 effigies, I'm good on that. 17 life gems, I'm good on that. And I don't need amber herbs because I don't have any spells to restore, if you get my drift. So when you talk to her and exhaust her dialogue, she will notify you that she's leaving this location, and when she disappears, she will be back in Majula. So,
My name is Melentia. You're a stranger to this land. Oh, we get as strangers these days. Everybody's gone and run off. Drang Lake's been a pile of rubble since the war fought long, long ago. And the giants crossed the sea.
So you notice how we're getting some interesting lore out of this. And she seems to know more than she leads on to as you keep talking to her. But the main thing is just, oh god, she's ugly. Don't tilt your camera down, whatever you do. Exhausting her dialogue is only important because it will send her back to Majula, the hub. She doesn't say anything particularly important as to the storyline or what you're supposed to do, but having her in Majula is a lot more convenient because you will find yourself there more than any other place in the game.
Seemed like the battles would never end. Poor folk like myself had nary a place to sleep. That's why I keep all me things right with me. You may travel light, but methinks you bear a burden of your own. They say these trees grew from the remains of the giants. From each carcass sprouted new life growing into what you see now. But you know what they also say? Don't believe what an old hag says. It's high time that I pick up and move. I've a bargain for you next time we meet, my love.
Alright, that is the last of her dialogue, and she's not joking. If you buy a set amount of things or spend a certain amount of souls on her, she does give you special things for free. So when we meet her in Majula next, she's going to give us a really cool item. I'm not worried about it now, but don't worry, we'll get to that.
Lonely times these are.
Alright, so that is Melentia. And we're going to rest at this bonfire. And she's still there. Good, good, good. Alright, she will be in Majula when we get back, though. So, normally, you would head down this ladder here and proceed into the level like that. We're not going to go that way, though. I am, however, going to head upstairs because it doesn't lead anywhere except this initial room. And it explains something pretty ridiculous. Notice this door is beat up. When you try to open it, it says it's locked. But I mean, the door is, like, decrepit. There's nothing to it. You notice how it also shakes like that. It shows signs of damage when we hit it. You give it a couple smacks, and you break right through. Do not let the door be the boss of you. Now, there's lots of stuff in this room that you can break, but there's really nothing hidden. It's mainly because of this. When you get into this room, you're going to notice that the chest looks exactly like everything else, and it's a Souls game. You don't want to break everything. You need to be careful about opening up chests and attacking them, because if you attack a chest before you open it, 3 or 4 successful hits is going to destroy the chest. Notice how the chest shows signs of damage just like that door did, or just like, you know, this wheelbarrow does. A few hits is going to break that. That means a few hits is going to break this chest. And if you break the chest, whatever's inside, regardless of what it was before, is going to come out as rubbish. And rubbish is absolutely useless. So make sure you don't attack chests unless you know there's something off about it. And when I say off, you'll know exactly what I mean later in the playthrough. You get a small leather shield and repair powder. Now, the small leather shield, I'm not really worried about. It only beats my shield in 2 categories. It has 5 more magic resistance, 10 more lightning resistance, and it weighs a unit less. So it's lighter. But not only is it the same as the buckler, as in the light shield, it doesn't have the same parry animation. So my parry window is smaller, meaning I can't parry as successfully as with the buckler. Now this guy right here is not dead, so what we're going to do is we're going to hit him with a jump attack. And I always do that. You guys are going to see me do that a lot because for some reason, ow. For some reason, my thumb is always on the analog stick by reflex and it causes me to do the shield break. Okay, we got a hand axe, well another hand axe and a radiant life gem. We already started out with the hand axe, so I mean now we've got 2. Which is kind of pointless, but, I mean, hey. And when you go in here, this is a very important chest. You don't want to miss this. What do you know? We got another Estus Flask Shard, and it gave us an important multiplayer item. The small white sign soapstone. Now, it's the small version because it's not the original. The original item is a white sign soapstone. It is used for being summoned into the worlds of other players for cooperative play. The small white sign soapstone is a soapstone that can be seen visible even in areas that you have already defeated the boss in. If you've defeated the boss already, you cannot summon regular white sign soapstones for multiplayer. This, however, you can use. Now the difference is this is mostly used for trading. So say you've completed the whole game and there's nowhere that you can summon people for multiplayer, you can set down the small white sign soapstone and you will be summoned into that person's world so that you can drop items or trade, just whatever. It's mainly for convenience, it's not actually for jolly cooperation, whereas they would help you fight the boss. Because if you get summoned to a world with the small white sign soapstone, you are not called a white phantom, you are called a shade. And the shade disappears as soon as you go through the fall gate leading to the boss. So it's not meant for cooperation, it's meant for trading, stuff like that. Okay, there's no point in jumping over there, so I don't recommend it because the fall is pretty big. You'll lose a lot of health. Now this is important. What you want to do is you want to line up so that you are parallel with the root. Just inch your way off. Take it nice and easy. A divine blessing. We already got one of those as soon as we got to Majula. It's a very, very potent healing item. If you guys remember, the description said it was used for healing full health, and it gets rid of all status effects. Okay, now this guy, I just want to kill him just because I can. And what do you know, I get his gauntlets. I don't need any of the stuff that they drop. If you dropped a halberd, that would be cool, but he's not going to. Okay, this is the part that I'm going to do first, as opposed to going down the ladder. And be careful dropping down on these planks, because you can fall and take a lot of damage, and you do not want that. Okay, now this guy, you do like a descending attack on him. One-shot him. There's a guy behind you, though. So after you do the descending attack on him, make sure you recover in time, because there's going to be a guy right behind you. Like I said before, these guys are not particularly tough at all. I mean, they're incredibly easy. But even in numbers, you can be surprised. Okay, when you head this way, that little hole in the wall, that's going to be how we get back. Because if you notice, the plank that I fell off of, there's no way to get back up there. So we're going to have to go through this hole in the wall. You're going to recognize the area as soon as we drop down into it. It's nowhere new, I promise. So we'll jump across here to get this item. Got a human effigy. Now that little trick right there, that was just a simple trick to ensure that you make the jump. You notice how you can either land there, where the ledge is, or you can land right in the corner. Okay, that was a huge fail. But that's okay, because all of these guys down here suck. They're super easy. Most of them aren't even aware, you can just backstab them. Make sure to get the hell out of the way after you get the critical, because your invincibility frames are active once you're out of the animation, and you can be attacked. Okay, we got a soul item and a torch. Just heading back up here for a second. Just want to get rid of that guy. Ow. Okay, I'm going to use a life gem, since I only have one flask. Now, lining these guys up right here is a bad idea, because you notice how the hitbox of my short sword, it can just take them both down. Oh, that guy just failed. Now, you can wait until they get right up on top of each other and take advantage of it like that. Okay, I got his glove. What is it with this game and giving me gloves? Get rid of that guy. And that should be... Okay, I hear another one walking, but I think it's the guy that's inside there. Yes, I think we're good. Okay. Now going right here. That'd be another way to get to the effigy. You didn't have to jump. I jumped because it was quicker and more practical. But the trick I was trying to show you is, you know how you can either jump to the ledge and risk eating shit like I just did? Or you can do that. You can jump to the corner and assure that you make the jump. That's what I was talking about. Maneuvering and footing in this game is the difference between life and death. Or treasure and death, as it were in this case. Notice how I didn't aim for the corpse when I jumped. I aimed for the corner over here so that I knew I would make the jump and would keep my footing. So that's just, you know, little tips and tricks to keep in mind while you're platforming, doing whatever it is you're doing to get whatever treasure you're after in this game. Okay, yeah, that sign is correct. You can jump off of here and get over to that section, but there's nothing over there. There's no items. You can't really go anywhere. Okay, what's this? We got another throwing knife. Now, I'm not complaining when I get these because they're actually really useful. We got another guy over here. These are petrification. I have not experienced anything down here that can petrify you, which is the weird part. But, I mean, it's whatever. Yeah. Okay. This is what you need to watch out for. I'm going to show you. With my bow. What the... Jeez, it's raining bodies up in here. Up there. This is a nice little trap. You can't really see him because he's knelt down behind the tree and the tall grass. You wouldn't notice him, or his friend who happens to be up there. I'm pretty sure there's two of them up there. This is an ambush that is designed to hit you from behind when you go into this cave. Going in there, it looks like suicide because it's on fire and everything. And if you aim your camera right, you can see the head of the giant salamander in there. Let's see if I can hit him. I don't think I can. He's there. Trust me, he's there. The salamander in there will continuously shoot fire at you, which will most likely kill you in one hit, because you are not supposed to fight the fire salamanders. Not yet. We'll come back for him, though. So what you can do is you can shoot these guys with an arrow, or you can just aggro them the regular way, the way anyone would before they saw them. You set about this far inside, and come back out, and look, we got his attention. There's number 2 right there. Now I am very prone to the jab attack on the straight sword, or the short sword, only because it's so damn good though. Okay, we're gonna go in this one first. Okay, we got that stupid hollow soldier helm that isn't worth a damn. And no, this isn't a fake wall or anything, don't waste your time there. Now these statues, like I said, they're a result of petrification. I don't know what petrifies you here, but I mean, it's whatever. There he is. You see that big ugly bastard in there? That's what he does. He shoots fire at you. Now here's what we're gonna do. We're not gonna go for the item. I don't give a damn about that item right there. I give a damn about the door right up here on the left in front of his face. Here's what we're gonna do. Run as fast as we can, open the door, because we're invincible when we open up the door. That worked out perfectly. Now he knows we're in here, so he's gonna keep doing that. The fire longsword is the real treasure here. This sword... Okay, he's being loud as hell. Hold on, I'll explain when we get out. Okay, wait till he shoots. Grab the soul of a proud knight for lots of souls. And we're gonna run away. Okay, now that he's not being loud and interrupting me, I'll explain the fire longsword. It's just a regular longsword, but is imbued with fire. It has 78 regular damage and 78 fire damage. You're gonna notice a big difference here. Right now I have 141 attack with my short sword. I have 126 with my hand axe. It's not very good. Short sword's better. I don't have enough strength to use this right now, but even though I don't have enough strength to use it, I still have 122 attack. So when my strength stat is correct, and I am able to use it, how much damage do you think I'm going to do? It's going to be a lot. So that's why you want the fire longsword. It is a very good beginning game item, and let me tell you, it wrecks. It's a very, very good weapon to have over the course of your entire playthrough, as long as you keep upgrading it. And when you dual wield it with another longsword or the Hade Knight sword, my goodness, you are talking about stacked damage that just destroys. Nothing in this game is going to be able to push you around if you have the Fire Longsword. So that's why I highly suggest getting it right in the beginning of the playthrough, before you even head into the main area of the Forest of Fallen Giants. Now this guy did not forget about us, he's still in here. I just don't see him. Always remember to take full advantage of your camera. There he is. See, I didn't have to drop down and get ambushed like an idiot. I can use my camera, tilt it in whatever direction I want, and see where he is before I even put myself in danger. So now I can do this to get his attention, because I know he's going to follow me, even if I... Okay, maybe not. He's being a weirdo. There we go. That's right, it was me. Bring it on. There we go. See, I didn't even have to use the short sword for that. I can just poke him with a dagger. Whoa! Don't forget about the firebomb guy. Now, the dagger has a really good thrust move as well. It's just you don't have any damn range with this thing is the problem. You poke them one time and they're basically out of range for the second hit. Now, the buckler's awesome because of that. Your parry window is almost guaranteed success. Look at that damage. That's ridiculous. Oh, we got his shield. I don't get this thing very often, but it is basically like the crappy broken shield from every other Souls game. It's terrible. Hey. You missed. Now come fight me like a man. That's it. Get on over here. Whoa. Okay, he means business. Come on. What's wrong? Are you too slow? Come on. Ow. Okay, he went out with a bang, because he got me once. I don't like forgetting about this guy. He doesn't aggro unless you go out in front of him, but still. Ow. Arg. Yeah, the enemies do not like it when you heal in this game. They will do everything in their power to stop you. Oh, too soon! Now that, when you try to practice parrying on these guys, you have to watch out for that. They do an attack that has a lot of wind-up. Almost every time, as you can see. That's the problem. Yeah. Notice how you try to assume that he's going to do the one with the wind-up, and he ends up doing the regular one. Love the critical damage of the dagger. It's very useful. Now back there, I demonstrated that it does not ever have to be the first hit in a combo. Even in PvP. If they're doing an attack that has multiple hits, you don't have to worry about it because parrying can happen on any hit. Heed my words. It doesn't matter if it's the first hit or if it's the 7th hit in a combo. You can parry any hit. Now the reason we're going back to Majula is because we picked up an Estus Flask Shard, and before we proceed into the next, more difficult area of the Forest of Fallen Giants, I want to have more flasks.
Is that a shard you found? Here, let me see it, so that I may help you. To see light, to see hope, however faint it might be.
Okay. When you have an Estus Flask Shard in your inventory, the Emerald Herald will say that every time, to remind you that you have it. It's basically the game's way of saying, hey, we're going to be nice, and we're going to remind you every time you have one of those so you won't forget to use it, because they want you to have as many flasks as possible. It will ensure greater success. Okay, there's our first one, and we have 2, so... go ahead and give her the second one. And just to make sure you don't have any more, there's nothing wrong with, trying. Just to make sure. I don't need to level up yet because I haven't used any of my soul items. I'm not going to yet. And I don't have very many souls on me. But what I am going to do is I'm going to go open up Leningrast's door. You talk to him first, and he's pretty grateful that you have the key in his own way.
I'm a blacksmith. Bring me luck.
So he has the same dialogue. Then, after you open the door, he comes off as kind of a jerk. We already covered this, but in his own little way, he's, kind of grateful.
Ah, yes, very good. Now I can get to work. But first, let me set up. Come again later.
Alright, and after he says that, all you have to do is rest at the bonfire. And when you run back over, he will be inside, all set up and everything, and ready to do business.
You, stand back. This is dangerous work. The name's Lenigrast. Just a simple blacksmith. And you are... another useless traveler. A man ought to labor with his feet planted firmly in the earth. Not roam around like you flirtatious vagabonds. Oh, what does it matter? Go on, show me what you've got. Your equipment. Let me have a look. But do it quick.
Alright, he sounds like such a jerk when he talks to you, but once you see what he can do, it completely overlaps how much of a jerk he is. And you're like, wow, this guy really isn't that bad because he has all the good stuff. You can buy a longsword, a bastard sword, a falchion, an estoc, rapier, battle axe, mace, spear. You can buy almost any kind of starting weapon you want from this guy. He also sells arrows. He sells us ammo. We want that. He also sells one repair powder, which is kind of redundant because you're going to find more over the course of the game. One really isn't going to make a difference. And the Titanite shard, he sells 10 of them, a limited quantity, but having lots of those is good because you never know what weapon you want to stick with. You might be, like me, the kind of person who wants to use multiple weapons just to see how they all work, versus using the same one for the entire game. So if you want to upgrade more weapons, you're going to need more Titanite shards, and being able to buy more is always a good thing. He can repair your stuff if it needs repaired, because the main point of this is, even though your durability on your equipment goes back to 100% every time you rest at a bonfire, it does not work if the equipment is physically broken. So he doesn't repair durability. He fixes the weapon altogether. If your weapon is broken, it will have a very large crack through the avatar of the weapon, and that's when you know you need to take it here to be repaired. Okay, weapon reinforcement is important too, because it will make your weapons stronger. So, if you want to upgrade any of this stuff, that's what you need to do. Now you notice how all of these require regular Titanite shards, which I have one of, except for my old whip. That needs twinkling Titanite, but don't worry, we'll get some of that somewhere down the road. Yeah, all of this stuff takes regular Titanite shard, except for the old whip because it's a special weapon, but don't worry, that thing's totally worth it. It rocks. You guys will see soon. Now, I'm actually going to reinforce the fire longsword one time with my single Titanite shard, because it's awesome. It's a very good weapon to have.
I'll be around if you make it back.
Okay. Oh, I forgot. You don't want to miss this little chest hiding in here. For those of you who don't start off with the bow, bam, short bow right there. Not that I needed it, but I mean it's definitely worth showing. Just in case you picked a different class while you follow this walkthrough. If you follow the walkthrough. Okay, I'm going to talk to her and level my strength up one time to 10 so I can use my fire longsword.
Bearer of the seek Leslie.
She always says bearer of the curse. I wish she would just call me Rock Samurai, just one time. Well, yeah, I can level up my strength twice. I probably should, so I can switch between the fire longsword and the hate knight sword, so I may as well just do that. Alright. So now, we can have our fire longsword. Good stuff. The fire longsword is really good. It's just a regular longsword. That's all it is, but it has a bunch of fire damage with it, so it does a lot of damage. I have 204 damage with this thing. That means we're going to be steamrolling the enemies right in the beginning of the game because we picked up such an awesome weapon. The one-handed moveset is a sweep, and it chains together like that. And the two-handed attack is, you guessed it, that awesome thrust that we love. You definitely want that. Now the Hade Sword is different. It has a vertical sweep for the light attack. I already showed you the strong attack. It's a smack and then a sweep, or a sweep and then a stab. And the two-handed strong attack is very harsh sweeps, but they are good. They do a lot of damage. And you can hit a lot of enemies that are close together with that attack. That's the beauty of it. We're going to stick with this, though. I think that is all I needed to do back in Majula. After you beat the boss, because we exhausted Melentia's dialogue, she will be sitting, like, right here somewhere, I believe. Maybe right here. I don't remember. It's like right in this general area she's going to be sitting after we beat the first boss. Okay, now we need to warp back to the Cardinal Tower, and it's time to go start kicking some real ass. Now that we've got our awesome new weapon. Okay, here we go. Those are the fire salamanders. Do not mess with them. I'm warning you. Don't mess with those guys. Now, when you come over here, this halberd guy, he was across the bridge, but he aggroes as soon as you come down the ladder. Remember the 3-hit rule. And look at that. We're taking these guys down like nothing. This guy sitting right here, he does not aggro until you walk over here. But you can still hit him while he's sitting down. It doesn't matter. Ow. Yeah, these guys, they can tank right through your shield, no problem. So if you don't have a decent shield, it's better to be a lot more offensive against these guys because they don't have very much health. They die pretty quick. But if you want to play defensive against them, you're going to regret it because they hit a lot. We got another guy playing dead right here. The jump attack is really good for guys like that. Okay, we got a Soul of Lost Undead over here. I haven't used any of my soul items, and I know we got a bunch. Look at that. Yeah, we'll be able to level up a couple times off of those. These doors are called soldier doors. You're going to see more than one door that looks exactly like this over the course of this level, and we can't open any of them, so we're not going to try. But we're going to get a special key when we beat the boss, and it will allow us to open up all of those doors. This door right here is different. It's a shortcut. It says it doesn't open from this side because when you get around to the other side, you'll be able to open this up for a nice little shortcut. That way we won't have to go all the way around again, and every time we come from that bonfire up there, we'll be able to just go through there. It'll be a world of convenience for us. So this is the way to go. We got another soldier door right here that we can't open. There's a guy chilling right here in the on his hands and knees. I don't know why. I mean, you guys already know he's going to stand up and try to attack us, but we're not about to let that happen. Okay. So this area can seem pretty overwhelming at first. Note that people are going to start shooting at you as soon as you come through here. And that guy that dropped down, he always does that. But when you run through here, you've got guys that have bows. There's one right there. There's one way back there who just shot us. Ow. Now we got these guys that start climbing up towards us as soon as we get into the level. And there's that guy shooting at us already. We've got two guys that have us in their sight. We don't want to sit around and block their hits all day because, I mean, obviously our shield's not that good. It doesn't block very much damage. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop down on this little plank. Be careful when you get in here because you got a guy with a bastard sword in there. And we've already seen what those guys can do at close range. So we're going to be real careful with this guy. And another torch. Don't worry, I know it's giving us lots of torches, and we haven't come across anything that requires a torch yet, but we will, I promise. Now don't stand there for too long, because you got that guy. The purpose of this room right here is not to fool you into dropping, I promise. It seems like it would be because, I mean, it's a Souls game, but this is actually here so you can get rid of this guy. You can use a bow if you want. I'm gonna knock a little bit of his health off with a bow. Ah! Oh, damn it, come on. You have got to be kidding me. I want to finish him off with a throwing knife, but it seems impossible. Okay, there we go. I will show you why it is so imperative to get rid of him in just a minute. Okay, now dropping down here is just fine. You're going to lose a chunk of health, but it's no big deal. Okay, now we got this guy right here. I'm going to wait for him to fire. Patience is very key in this game. And if you go near him, he'll pull his sword out. And you finish him off. I'm actually going to get rid of my dagger because it's sort of throwing me off. I'm expecting to be using my longsword when I switch from my bow, but as you can see, I've got my dagger equipped and it's just kind of throwing me off, so I'm going to get rid of that. Okay, now that guy over there, you can shoot him from right here if you have throwing knives or, you know, a bow. Doesn't matter which one. We have a spear guy with a shield over here. Those guys are a pain in the ass, and you're going to see exactly what I mean. What I want to do is, and don't ever hesitate to switch between targets, because using the analog to toggle between your targets is very important in this game. And we got this guy over here. You can use these posts to increase the chances of survival, because the enemy's attacks don't go through surfaces in this game. So just get rid of this guy like that. Oh, come on. Ah, my throwing knives do a lot of damage, so I'm going to conserve those. Okay, we got rid of him. And I'm going to use the post to get rid of this guy. Yeah, see, we can shoot him, but he can't get us. That's beautiful. And now, we just have the shield guy to worry about. The shield guys suck because they have a very solid defense about them. When he puts that shield up, notice how he didn't take any damage? It's because he's turtling. Breaking their guard isn't as easy as it sounds. What you can do is you can wait for them to throw their shield up, and you can do the shield bash. Like that. You get a brutal combo on them. That's what I'm talking about. So that's one of the easier ways to deal with them. There should be a guy down there, if I remember correctly. Now you see, that's where we shot that guy. That's where he was standing. We were in that little doorway over there when we took him down. The reason it's so important to get rid of him before you get to this rooftop is because when he shoots at you right there, if you're jumping across and you get shot in the head, it's going to make you fall to your death right there. It will stop you mid-jump for almost no damage, really, but it's going to make you plummet to your death into the water, and it's going to piss you off severely. Alright. Now, I am going to go ahead and drop down in here. Because I believe, yeah, there's usually a guy standing in here, but I don't see him right now. I think he actually aggroed and chased us up there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Okay. Now, when you drop down, there's a way to get back right here. So don't freak out like you missed items or anything. But you do want to go over here. It's Titanite Shard. No, this does not open, so you can't get that item, nor can you aggro that guy. But then again, look at him. He's huge, and he looks like a giant metal turtle with a big club that's going to bop you on the head for a lot of damage. So we're just going to back away and not worry about him. So, instead of getting on here again, we're going to go over here. And voila, we are right back at the beginning. So like I said, as soon as we stepped in here, this area is a little bit overwhelming for most people when they run through here the first time, only because there's a lot of different places you can go. It seems almost like a miniature maze, but it's really not that confusing. As long as you take your time and go through it step by step, you can get through just fine. Now this right here, this only serves as another way to get on here. I wanted to take that head on because it's just, most people are going to do that first versus taking the bridge to get in through the top here. So I just wanted to show you guys the first way to get through there, because I know most of you who are playing this game for the first time, you're going to drop down right there, and you're going to do that the way I did, and I don't want you guys to get wrecked by the guy with the bastard sword. So there's no items over here, and before you go up this ladder, you definitely want to go in this cave. However, it's a giant trap. When you walk a set amount forward, big, giant boulder. Bye, boulder. Yes, it just fell down there. Do not fall down there. Okay. Now when you walk in, you notice there's an item right there. That is what the game will do to you. It will get your attention, and it will egg you on to go grab the shiny, and then you're going to get flattened by a boulder. You don't want that, so sometimes you got to be smart. It's worth it though. It's a human effigy. I'll admit, I'm a big enough person to admit that I got hit by that thing in my first playthrough. Didn't kill me, but I was still freaked out. This is Cale. He's a very unique NPC, and we want to talk to him. Again, he's a lot like Salden. He's a very talkative NPC, and it's kind of annoying. It takes forever to exhaust his dialogue, but we gotta do it, because it's imperative. And we got an amber herb. These are very useless for us right now, but they'll have uses later.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just daydreaming, I think. My name is Cale. I'm a traveler, like yourself. I'm navigating the continent to create a map. Why cartography, you ask? Well, that's a good question. When I first came to this forsaken land, it was a curse? Something about a curse? How embarrassing. I seem to have lost my focus. But I do know one thing for certain. I have always been very fond of maps. I came to this land some time ago. Drangleic, the Lost Kingdom. It sounded so romantic. Have you seen Majula? Oh, there's a rather spacious mansion there. I made it my temporary home. Well, as something of a squatter, I'm afraid. Inside the mansion, I found a strange map, like none I'd ever seen. I believe that it's a map of Drangleic. Now I'm traveling the land to prove it. Yes, that's it. That's why I came to the kingdom. Wait, no, that wasn't it. Then what? I don't seem to recall. Were you looking for that map? Wonderful. Then you're fascinated by maps, just like me. Shame on you. You should have told me before. Here, take this. A key to the mansion.
Alright, that right there is the prize underneath the pain of listening to him ramble.
What a joy to meet a kindred spirit out here.
Okay, so for a guy trying to prove that there's a giant stone map of Drangleic, it doesn't look like he's making a lot of progress digging around in a cave, right? Well, still.
Incredible, really, isn't it? Such a map to be chiseled in stone. Oh, but one thing. I would not venture deep into the mansion. I can't be certain, but I've heard disturbing noises. Something about it feels wrong. Just be careful, please.
There it is. When you keep talking to him, he's going to give you a vital hint that there's something down in the mansion. It's nothing particularly dangerous, but if you have no idea it's coming, I'm certain it'll be a death for a lot of you, so just keep that in mind.
I'll be back in Majula soon. Perhaps we will meet again and discuss maps at our leisure.
Okay, that is the last of his dialogue, and once he tells you that he's going back to Majula, that's how you know you'll be able to see him there in the mansion when you get back.
I'll be back.
Okay, and that, it is very important to exhaust their dialogue. And when I say exhaust, I mean talk to them until they have nothing new to say whatsoever. Then they will move. It doesn't matter if you're just one sentence away from finishing his dialogue. If you don't finish it completely, he won't move. So it's very important that you exhaust their dialogue. There's nothing wrong with, continuing to talk to them and just, skimming through their dialogue just to make sure that you got the last of their sentences. Okay, yeah, we need to go back out, and we're going to have to go up the ladder. Okay. Well, that was a very enlightening experience about maps. So, you notice how we got rid of the archer here? That way we don't have to run towards him like a madman in a corridor and get hit by arrows, or block them, rather. It's just he's dead. It's just a better outcome overall to get rid of him while you're on the bridge over there. You drop down. What is it with the physics in this game? I swear, there's like a ghost or something that's gathering all these bodies up and just pushing them down hills. Like a troll ghost or something. Yeah, I should probably have been more quiet going up this hill. That way I wouldn't have got his attention. Yeah. Now, if you're brave, you can attack them in between their combos like I just did. It's dangerous because it's an easy way to get chained into 3 different attacks and die. But if you're a little brave, it's okay to chance it. If you know your weapon hits really fast, because, I mean, the jab on the longsword is very quick. Okay, I'm going to sneak up on this guy. Ah, did not get the backstab, but that's okay. Do not go up that ladder. Yet. Get this shit out of the way. This is why I saved one of my throwing knives, because we're going to use it to deal with this guy. But first, we're going to use him. He throws firebombs, and we want that. What you need to be careful of is these guys down here. As soon as you step near these steps, you're going to get that guy's attention. So bring him away from the firebomb guy over here and fight him like this. Wait for him to attack and retaliate. And we got a life gem off of him. Now, you notice that there was a second guy down there, the guy with the halberd. He doesn't aggro unless you go down the steps, though. Now this guy, he's got bad aim, but the point is to get him to hit these barrels. He almost got him. Come on. No, 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 come on. This is much easier if you have your own firebomb. But using him isn't a bad idea either. Oh my god, that was a direct hit. I can't believe that. Come on. Okay. The explosion might kill me if I keep doing it, so I'm gonna gem it up. The point of doing this is that these bombs, or these barrels, these are flammable, and they're gonna cause a huge explosion on that wall that looks particularly old. So come on, I know you can do it. I know you can do it, come on. Okay, this is taking forever. You suck. Do not try out for the NFL. Come on. Keep trying. Keep trying. Come on, dude. I'm right here. Keep trying. You know what? it's like he's getting closer when I'm not near them. Finally! How bad can you possibly suck at life? Now shut up. Yeah, you can't even hit me when I'm right underneath you. Die. Okay. The point of making that wall explode is that it leads to a shortcut back to the bonfire, so that way we don't have to go down the ladder and back around again. Which, I mean, it's not necessarily an enormous hike, but you guys get what I'm saying. So, yeah, I had just enough time left in the video to make it back to the bonfire and rest, so we can resume next time. We're going to have our first boss encounter in the next video, and we're going to continue finishing the Forest Fallen Giants. So, that concludes part 3 of the expert walkthrough for Dark Souls 2. As always, I have been your faithful host, Let's Play Dark Souls HD. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you all next time. See ya!